the question was when to use sexual energy and when to not. In general, I go for when to not. Because when I work with people, the purpose of the session is to embody them, is to make them capable of activating, accessing whatever is a potential in their body. I can easily work with people when they come in and they start to go into a little sexual space. I can easily activate my womb energy and just bombard them with it, where they will get quite a nice, pleasurable bliss, maybe even for some going into orgasms from it. But then it is me basically pouring water into their system. And they can have a brilliant, fantastic experience with it. But the problem is that when they go out the door, my door, they haven't learned how to activate them in themselves because I was pouring it into their system. And when people come to me and, for instance, want to work with their sexual energy, they want to work with their energy so that whenever they go somewhere where they wish to be sexual and engage in their sexual energy, that they can do it themselves. So every time I add energy to someone, I really need to ask myself, why am I doing it? Because right now I'm taking over for their work. I'm giving them what they should learn to make inside their own system. So most of the time when I do use sexual energy, with some people I can feel like, okay, here they're at the brink of the door and my energy can actually help them open the door. But then when the door is open, I can take my energy back and then their own is flowing. So there it's like igniting it. But then I remove mine immediately once okay, they're running now, I go away with my energy. At other times, I might use my sexual energy when theirs is already running, but it's at a very low level, and especially if it's someone that has this idea of it can't feel like more, that doesn't know what their potential is to feel and experience. Then I can use it to actually give them an embodied feeling of, wow, is this the potential there is in a body? And then I'll stop. And then when they have the potential experience, then we can start working with them in ways to have them feel into their body, them activated. But I want them to be able to go out my door not being dependent on me. A lot of people in body work that are really good at activating their own sexual energy and offering it in the session, they get dependent, addictive clients that have become therapist addicted. That needs to go back to that specific person again and again to get this nice feeling in my body because I haven't learned to do it myself. So suddenly I'm dependent on the therapist, and that's not the kind of work I do. I do not want people to depend on me. I want to make myself completely unusable for people. That's my main purpose, and the faster I can do that, the better. So that's one of the things regarding when will I choose not to use it. Also, sexual energy is such a sneaky little bastard. And it is so linked to our ego. Because sometimes we can also be very used to in sessions to start, especially if we work a lot with connecting with sort of what you can call the source of energy or universal energy, but we draw energy from outside ourselves instead of using our personal energy. And when you really can come and connect to that space from a clean space inside yourself, you will often experience to get really good intuition, where basically you're being guided to where the body is calling for you. And if we then start trusting that intuition, that whatever comes to me is me being guided to what will serve the best here, then the risk is that when I then feel the sexual energy in my system, I'm being guided to use my sexual energy because it came to me out of the blue. Yeah, that might be so, but my guess is that that only happens about 5, maybe 10% of the time that we as a body worker get in contact with the sexual energy in a session. Because our sexuality is really so close linked to our ego, to who we are. I mean, if we want to hurt somebody, just poke at their sexuality. It's the easiest way to hit most people. But in a session, our sexuality for most people is a place where we're still quite unconscious. Meaning, we don't really know what turns us on. We don't necessarily know what turns us off. We know the feeling of being deeply engaged with a lover and it's really nice and the mood's gone. And we might even not know what happened because basically nothing happened. I went from being completely, I'm into my lover and gone. And I'm like, that's because something in that interaction touched our turn off button. But a lot of people have no idea, no clue what a lot of their turn off buttons are, as well as they don't know what their turn on buttons are. So in a session with a body in front of you and someone that might be starting to go into their sexual space, sexual arousal maybe, they start moving their body in various ways, and they could have a movement that you are not aware of is one of your I'm on, I'm lit, which for your subconscious system would be enough in the session to ignite your sexual energy. And now you think, because you're not aware of, that kind of movement is one of my private sexual things. If you're not aware of that, you risk thinking, this is divine guidance. And then you start pouring in your sexual energy. But basically, you just got horny yourself from an unaware point of view, and now it's your private sexual energy you're putting into the session without realizing this has nothing to do with the client. This is all about you. And that's why I said that whenever I get an impulse that here I should or could, or it would be beneficial to use sexual energy, I don't just check myself once, I triple check myself. And I also do that after a session where I use sexual energy. Really run through. Is there anything here where I was blind?